Everybody, how we doing? Sunnyvale Rejects back on this glorious early Saturday morning with another video for my friends and family. It's good to be back in the saddle with you guys. It's been about a week, so it's about damn time. And today we're going to do a little something different. Today we're going to talk about music. And who doesn't love music? It's the soundtrack to our lives. I got a top 15 here for you, and everybody's is going to be different. So if you've got some great records in mind that didn't make my list, just remember that, it's a mood thing. Music is a mood thing. Every one of the records on this list takes me back to a precise moment in time when I was either very happy or just depressed so much that I wanted to take myself out of this world. And please believe me when I tell you, I have hit rock bottom. I have met people that don't like music over the years. I think like two people in my entire life, and I thought it very, very strange. It seems to be the one comfort area for almost all humans, music. And you can see how it began probably very early in our timeline. Okay, so let me shut the hell up. This isn't a class, damn it. It's Saturday, school's out. This is the first record right here that introduced me to music. Made me want to maybe be a musician one day, but was definitely starstruck by the fame and the clothes and the look. And then I listened to this record so many times that my dad just started to make me tapes until they dragged. Remember that? Old cassette players would drag. You'd throw that tape out and get a new one. It was Thriller. This is an original press. First run. In the sleeve. It's Thriller. I wanted to be Michael Jackson. I loved this record, and I lived in a small town, all white, and about 300 people, and I would walk around playing this record all day and night until it started to drag, and then my dad would make me a fresh copy. I loved it. Check this out, y'all. Does anybody remember this? The interior layout? Look at that. Look at that sexy fella. I wanted to be and look like and sound like Michael Jackson. And I wanted to be rich like that and have tigers as pets. So this was my introduction to music, really. I still listen to it off and on. Not so much anymore. But I will, if the opportunity presents itself. I'm not counting that in the 15 greatest records of all time, according to yours truly. And also remember, again, if I'm asked this, a year down the road, it'd be a completely different set of records. And let me correct myself. It's CDs, because that's what I have, CDs. And this is one reason I still buy them. We're going to start somewhere. Number one, Ozzy Osbourne. It's Diary of a Madman. And I love this record. When I was maturing a little bit, having listened to Michael Jackson, my brother was 5 years older than me, and he was listening to Ozzy. My dad was the one listening to Black Sabbath, and he was in a band, and they were always playing music, and there was always musicians over at the house. And because of it, I was introduced to really great music early on. And not just rock, and not just Michael Jackson, but blues. Bobby Bland, B.B. King, Albert King, the best of the best, and I'm grateful for that. But this was a great record. It had Over the Mountain, Fly High Again. Y'all remember that? My God, what else we got? Believer, Little Dolls, Tonight. Yeah, that was a great record. And these are not really in any particular order. It's just the way they kind of came together on my desk here. Who doesn't remember this? Boys to Men, Cooley High Harmony. My God, I love this record, and I like it more than almost every R&B record out there. I like Blackstreet. These guys really put it together. Were smooth and soulful and sad and sometimes kind of melancholic. And I remember, I think I was in the 9th grade when this record came out, and I was living in Arkansas, with a family member, kind of by myself, and I was lonely, man. And I used to fall asleep with my ear on the boombox and listen to these songs over and over and over. And I like this copy because it has the Spanish version. That's the first song of, what is it? Al Final del Camino. Boys to Men, I love it. Oh, come on now. This is probably going to make everybody's list. The Cranberries, No Need to Argue. Every song on the album is good. And look, I'm going to tell you, on this list here, you'd be, it'd be a hard argument to convince anybody that not every song on these CDs are good. Every song on this CD is good and haunting. 21, 21. And Ode to My Family, I Can't Be With You. Zombie, Empty. Yes. I remember, I know, I might say this a few times, but I was so depressed. Maybe I broke up with a girlfriend or, she dumped me, something like that. But there are days when only a hot bath will soothe you and help the terrible day melt away. And this is one I'd play in the bathroom while I was taking a hot bath and trying to come down. Counting Crows is another one. Getting a little heavier here. It's Tool. Undertow. One of the freshest, heaviest, far out rock albums ever made. And I got to meet the lead singer in Arizona one time. But I love this record. It's tight and also very strange. At the end of it, there's that, you remember that secret song? I can't remember what it was about now, but I don't know if it was a car wreck or somebody was dead in a ditch or something like that, but there was like goat sounds in the background. And he said, for the carrots, this is the Holocaust. Something like that, remember? But it came up on the CD like 10 minutes after the record had ended. It was spooky as hell, and it gave some of my friends nightmares. It's one of the greatest rock albums ever made. Every song is good. Check it out for yourself. It's The Undertow. Another one that is good from beginning to end. It's commercial. It's kind of mainstream now. But when it first came out, man, they were part of that that grunge Seattle movement. And they just freaking blew up. I think they had a great message. Their records were solid. They seemed to have an arc too, like a beginning, middle, and end. But the way Once starts, Even Flow, Alive, Why Go Home, Black, and Jeremy. Come on, man, I don't even have to say any more songs. It's Pearl Jam. This is 10, and it's one of the greatest rock albums ever made. I'm not a music snob, y'all. Excuse me, just so you know, I'm not a music snob. I like what I like, and I can tell good music when I hear it, and I don't give a damn if it's in Russian or Spanish. You can tell good music when you hear it. And again, I chose records that every song on the record is good, not just a few. Stone Temple Pilots, Purple. Interstate Love Song, 12 Gracious Melodies. And Superman, the Silver Gun. Yeah, great-ass record. When we lost him, we lost a national treasure. But man, he was tortured, wasn't he? Stone Temple Pilot, Purple. Every song is good. You can buy it right now on Amazon for probably $6. You should do it. White Zombie. La Sexorcisto, Devil Music, Volume Number 1. It's like watching a spacey, cosmic, far-out cartoon-type movie. I don't know. A movie with some crazy animation. But look at their outfits and stuff and their look. My brother got me into White Zombie too. Yeah, I love this record. Again, every song is good. And I'm talking thunderous, just ripping guitars, man. Drums are solid. Rob Zombie's lyrics are just spacey and far out. Sean Jules, the bassist, was amazing. Their story's kind of cool too. I wish they hadn't broken up after, I think, only 3 records. One was an early record with Carolina. La Sexorcisto and Astro Creep were the ones that people really know. But then Rob Zombie had a solo career and got, very successful. Started making movies, and I don't know, he never looked back. Road Trippin', yeah. It's Californication, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I used to road trip to this record. Me and my buddy Aaron. We haven't talked in like 25 years, but I miss him. And I have fond memories of our time together. We were both poor as hell, confused and crazy, growing up in Mississippi and always looking for a way out. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's Californication, and the cover rocks, and it is fitting for the title. I don't know. But it's just got a ton of songs on it, and it's like Around the World, Parallel Universe, Scar Tissue, Other Side, Easily, Porcelain. I'm talking a great, phenomenal record, and I'm sure it's on the Rolling Stones, 500 greatest records of all time. Probably all of these records are. Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know them, you love them, and if you haven't heard this record, go back to it and give it a shot. Now here's one that's going to blow everybody's mind, but I'll be able to defend it. It's Insane Clown Posse's Great Milenko. A kid named Jeremy Luckett, who worked at a record store in Mississippi, Vicksburg, turned me on to these guys. And at the time, I was probably listening to Outkast, In Too Deep, Too Short, NWA, House of Pain, definitely. He's like, if you like those guys, you got to check out ICP, the Great Malenko. Insane Clown Posse started, from the very, very bottom, kind of a grassroots movement, extremely, as independent as any band gets. And were as successful as probably The Offspring, which was probably the most successful independent record of all time. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me what that is in the comments. And while you're there, like and subscribe. Give some love back, because I sure as hell love you guys, and I'm grateful for your time and attention. But this is a social commentary at its best. And you're talking about some kids that really grew up poor and had big dreams and never stopped. And the truth is, when they first started, they really couldn't rap, But over time, and as they invested more and more into their label, into their time in the studio, into writing, into getting better instruments and stuff, them and Mike E. Clark put out some of the best, most extraordinary, unique hip-hop of all time. This is a severe slap in the face. I don't know. This is Juggalos. If you can't identify with Juggalos, have you ever felt like a loser? Have you ever felt like an outcast? These guys will make you own that shit and be proud of that title. But with songs like, the Prince song, Great Malenko, Hocus Pocus, Piggy Pie, How Many Times, great song. The Hall of Illusions, that's the one that's, straight social commentary, very, very good about alcoholism, domestic violence, What is a Juggalo? But they also have a lot of fun. It's Great Malenko by ICP. Check it out. Probably like $10 on Amazon. One of the greatest hip-hop records of all time coming up next. It's AT-Aliens, Outkast. You probably do know Outkast. You probably heard some of their other records, because this record had, I think, like 2 club hits on it. I'll tell you what they were in a second. You can probably see for yourself. But AT-Aliens was a badass, again, soulful record. And I say that meaning, like, some people's argument with techno versus, like, music where people play instruments like guitars and drums as keyboard is that it's soulless. Everything on my list has to have soul. I have to know that these people know what they're singing about, and they don't have, songwriters, doing all the work for them. They just get up and they're a pretty boy act. No, but soulful shit that I can relate to from, throughout the eras. And when I say greatest records of all time, let me rephrase that and say these are the records that I always have and that I always go back to and that I'll probably listen to till the day I die. It's Outkast, it's AT-Aliens, and it's a phenomenal record. The You May Die, the intro is really, really cool. 2 dope boys in a Cadillac. AT-Aliens, Wheels of Steel is a badass song. Jezebel. Elevators, see, those are some hits right there that you probably recognize. It's Outkast. Maybe you've never heard of this one, and if you haven't, you should. You should listen to it. You should check it out. It's Massive Attack's Mezzanine. I met this wild dude at a bar in Jackson, Mississippi called Finian's Pub. I used to live downtown Jackson. I went to school at, I think it was Bellhaven, hell, right there by Eudora Welty's house. And one day, we got to talking about music, and folks like myself and some people I've come across over the years love to share, music ideas and refer you to new bands, and I'm always grateful when it works, and this was a good one and it worked. I've been listening to them ever since. It's Massive Attack's Mezzanine. It's got songs like Angel, Teardrop, Inertia Creeps. They're maybe what a long time ago people might call trip hop. I don't know, and I'm not so big on labels, but look at that, Massive Attack, Mezzanine. Please check it out. These are not records that I could really write to. I really write to more stuff without words, like Mogwai, Explosion in the Sky. I think it's Explosions in the Sky, bands like that are what you call, I guess, post-rock, but without words, because it's easy to be influenced by words when you're listening to music and writing. Interpol, Turn On the Bright Lights. If you grew up, like I did when the Strokes kind of saved rock, at a time when, like, I don't know, in the same way that Nirvana and other bands have done it throughout the years and the decades, when maybe hip-hop or something else was, gaining prominence and was, selling the hell out of records more so than other genres. This one changed things for me. People always kind of liked the Strokes and Franz Ferdinand and the Stills, but I liked Interpol better. Interpol's badass. It is dark music and kind of sad, but groovy as hell. I really like the bassist. Most people, the lead singer's got a great voice, right? And he's charismatic and all that. So when they're on stage, he's moving around. And a lot of people that I grew up with really liked him, but I like the bassist. I think the bassist is cool. But they're a New York band, and You can tell. It's a great record from beginning to end. And this is a fallen in love record, or maybe one you'd listen to right after a breakup or something like that. It's got, the first song is untitled, but then Obstacle 1, NYC, PDA, Say Hello to the Angels, Hands Away, Obstacles. It's Turn on the Bright Lights by Interpol. It's a phenomenal record. Only a few left, y'all. Only a few left. Let's see. I love this record. Everybody will love it one day. I wish more people would give it a chance. It's Marilyn Manson. It's Coma White, or Mechanical Animals. I love CDs for this reason, because I still have a CD player, and it's awesome. I got subs and nice speakers in my truck, but I like CDs. It reminds me of albums. Like, I was just able to open the Michael Jackson record and show you some stuff. I used to do it with CDs too, and sometimes, actually I still do. But I would, when the liner notes and the artwork were foldable, where you could fold out, I would put it on my bathroom wall because it reminded me of like a club bathroom. And I live in a 2-story place here, and the upstairs, there's 2 bathrooms. My mom lives with me, so she's got hers. My wife and son have theirs, and so this is kind of my space. You know, I've got my books, the bathroom's over there, close to the kitchen. I liked the liner notes. This was pretty far out. And not to say that, you know, Marilyn Manson wasn't, you know, influenced by big bands like Def Leppard or whatnot, or Alice Cooper even, maybe Ozzy, maybe not. Maybe Ziggy Stardust, maybe. But I loved his look, and I think like Elvis Presley and like the Beatles, nobody else could have been Marilyn Manson but Marilyn Manson. He had the look, and he lived the life. So this is Mechanical Animals, Marilyn Manson. It's a record that I always go back to because it's somehow still fresh and new. It doesn't seem dated when you listen to it, and a lot of the things he says that are political are happening right now. And this is a time when free speech is really, really needed more than decades in the past. That's Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals, and it's good from beginning to end. Okay, here it is, y'all. One of the greatest records of all time. Nobody can deny this, and if you haven't checked this out, you have to. You simply must. It's Portishead. Live at the Roseland Theater in New York City, Portishead. Maybe you've heard or listened to their record Dummy, which was really awesome. Hey, look, it's made in Germany. This is an import. But it's Portishead live at the Roseland Theater, and as you can see, they have a damn orchestra with them. They have a DJ, they have a live band, and it's just so amazing. And trust me when I tell you that Billie Holiday and a few other badass ladies like Lana Del Rey, she's awesome, Linda Ronstadt, Hart, this one beat them all out. It's Portishead, and it's an amazing record, and you go through a lot of emotions while you're listening to this, let's just say. But you'll be listening to some soulful, groovy cut, and then all of a sudden the DJ will start spinning and a keyboard will rip in. Tight, very tight stuff. It's Portishead, and you simply must check it out. Here is one of the greatest records of all time. It's the last record I want to show you, and I hope that you guys, well, I'll just show you. I'll shut my mouth and show you. It's the Deftones. And I don't want anybody to be mad at me for not putting Around the Fur or Adrenaline on the list. I gotta tell you why. After Chi was killed in that car wreck, you know, they were feeling down, and they almost made a record that was indicative of that, you know, just down and sorrowful and melancholic, but they did what Chi would love. And if I'm not saying that right, forgive me, because I got mad respect for everybody in the Deftones. They made a record that he would love, that harkened back to their early days when they were hard freaking core. This record has some of the best rock songs on it, with the most feeling and emotion, perfectly timed too, like some of the greatest hip-hop writers before the hook. Just powerful chords, just thunderous guitar, and the drums are right on and leading the charge. But Diamond Eyes, Royal, Command Control, You've Seen the Butcher, Beauty School, Prince, Rocket Skates, Sex Tape. Come on, let me Risk, 976 Evil. You gotta check this record out. It's on sale at Amazon. I actually have this in my truck right now, but I bought another copy. Actually, I have a couple of these, you know, that are already opened and in my truck, but when I see them and they're cheap on Amazon, I'll go ahead and buy them, because in the truck I'll be in traffic and I'll drop one and it'll fall under the seat and I'll step on it and it'll get all messed up. It's Deftones. One of the greatest rock records ever made. Definitely one of their best records, man. You know what I mean? They honored their fallen band member with a solid ass rock album. I think, damn, I can't remember the magazine, but somebody called it the best record of the decade. Damn, y'all gonna have to look that up and tell me. But it's the Deftones, it's Diamond Eyes, the cover's cool, the song's cool, the band rocks, and you'll love it, and it'll always be in your rack or in your CD deck for years and years to come. I'm shutting up. I gotta clip your wings and let you go. I love you all. Thank you for watching. And as always, please write me. I do respond. You know that now. I love all your comments. I love hearing from you. Tell your friends to like and subscribe, and let's keep this train moving. Have a wonderful weekend with your friends and family. Stay cool and keep reading and listening to good music.